In this video we'll break down the tactics that saw United hold on to an early second half lead with 10 men. In order to overload and cause problems to Ipswich's 5-2-3 press, United played a diamond in midfield with Bruno Fernandes at the base of the diamond, orchestrating United's attacks from deep. Garnacho dropped into a number 8 position, while Ugarte moved wide on the right to accommodate Fernandes at the base. This caused problems for Ipswich's two-man midfield, with United having a numerical supremacy. The position of Ugarte, who often supported inside Dalot on the right, was very interesting. This diamond shape doesn't allow natural width to the team due to a narrow midfield, and this is possibly why United had to concentrate their attacks down one side, with a staggering 62% coming down the left. Xerxes supported under Højlund at the top of the diamond. This meant that United were playing with a 3-1-6 or a 3-1-5-1 in ball possession. Xerxes' position supporting Højlund at the top of the diamond saw him dropping off and coming short to receive. This dragged one of Ipswich defenders out of the back line, creating space on the right. When he dropped to receive, Ugarte tended to widen his position and move closer to Dalot. With a defender out of position, United could attack the spaces. However, with players Dalot and Ugarte not adept at attacking in the final third, these opportunities were often missed. Fernandes drops into the back line in build-up to combat Ipswich's 5-2-3 pressing structure. Fernandes' position pulled the Ipswich attacker away from Euro, leaving him as a free player on the left. Because of the positioning of Garnacho on the left, the Ipswich fullback was reluctant to press up, which would have resulted in Garnacho being free. Here Fernandes positions himself on Hutchinson, so any press from Hutchinson would see Fernandes being able to receive a pass. Fernandes then moves through the lines, taking up a position in United's defensive line, creating a very simple 4 versus 3. This movement initiated a press from Ipswich and freed up a pass to De Ligt, now in space on the right. The pivot, Fernandes, drops to form a back 4 for United, and this means that the wide centre-back can move wider. As a result, the wingers don't need to cover this space and can remain high and wide, pinning the opposition's fullbacks. This can see United have a 5 against Ipswich's back 5. The role of the inside forwards in this case is to drop off into these half spaces, giving the Ipswich wide centre-backs a choice of whether to press or not until the defensive midfielders can cover this position. The role then is for the inside forwards to link with the wingers and strikers with through balls. Whether this was a ploy by Ipswich or United is unknown, but United's overloaded midfield didn't allow the Ipswich midfielders to press, so United could, or were allowed, to use Euro in space. As he is not a left-footed player though, it often meant that he could not play a pass down the line behind the fullback, often choosing to come back inside. Although finding space in the build-up, United really struggled to find space in the final third. The United attacks were often too ponderous, so Ipswich had time to organise a stubborn 5-4-1 defensive shape. With the wide attackers joining the midfield line, Ipswich had the extra player on the flanks to combat United's wide triangles, resulting in an XG of just 0.14 from open play. Against Ipswich's initial back 4 and 2 supporting midfielders, United pressed with their front 3, eliminating the use of the 4th defender by using curved runs to block off passes to the opposite side of the pitch. This usually resulted in the Ipswich fullback taking up more advanced positions, leaving a 3-2 in build-up. Fernandes, now operating in a midfield 2 with Ugarte, pressed the opposition's defensive midfielders, while Dorgu and Dalot covered the wide attackers. Facing only one striker, it allowed one of the United centre-backs to track an attacker and press in the midfield. Similar to United, and it happened to be against Fernandes, defensive midfielder Morsi creates an extra player in defence as he is not tracked by Fernandes, and this allows him enough time to play the ball behind the United defence, resulting in the first goal, although this was due to a terrible misunderstanding by Dorgu. With time, United were able to drop into the same defensive structure as their opponents in a 5-2-3, with the double pivot shuffling over to cover Ipswich's wide attackers that were dropping into the half spaces. In transitions, the weaknesses of the midfield diamond were exposed, with only a single pivot covering the area. There was space for the attackers to drop into and see an overload. After the red card, Amorim changed Dalot to the left, with substitute Mazraoui playing on the right. Xerxes joined the midfield, that was now a triangle. But he was the first to support Højlund. United continued to build possession in the same shape as the first half, although as we can see from the chart, Onana had a greater percentage of long kicks in the second. With only 28% possession in the second half, United had to defend for long periods. Xerxes dropped to the left and United defended using a 5-3-1 shape, although Højlund covered for Xerxes when he was caught out of position. Despite gifting 2 goals to the opposition through defensive lapses in concentration and a red card in the first half, United went on to claim all 3 points in this game. This is something that should be celebrated and sees United pull away from the bottom of the table. With the whole of the second half against 10 men, Ipswich will feel like they could have got more out of this game. Thank you for watching.